Under the provisions of the Health Act 1970 as amended, determination of eligibility for a medical card is the responsibility of the HSE. The HSE has produced national assessment guidelines to provide a clear framework to assist the making of reasonable, consistent and equitable decisions when assessing an applicant. These guidelines are publicly available and can be downloaded from the HSE's medical card website. A new medical card scheme for persons aged 70 years or over was introduced with effect from the 1st of January 2009. Under this scheme, a person who is ordinarily resident in the state qualifies for a medical card as long as their gross income does not exceed the means test income limit. The income limit currently for a single person is €700 per week. The relevant income limit currently for a couple is €1,400 per week. The standard procedure for the review of medical cards for persons aged 66 years or older is that their medical card will be reviewed every 4 years. In the interest of fairness between medical card holders, it is important that all people aged 70 or over are treated in a like manner by the HSE. The Primary Care Reimbursement Officer, the PCRS, has confirmed that medical cards are not cancelled without notice. The PCRS notifies all medical card holders by letter 3 months in advance of the renewal date of their eligibility for a medical card or when a review is due. A further reminder letter is sent to card holders who have failed to return their renewal form a month prior to the card expiry date. If no contact is made by a client with the central office within this period, their medical card will expire. The central office makes every effort to contact clients. In a small number of cases, a client may not receive the renewal notice due to having changed address. When notified of such cases, the central office extends the person's eligibility for a sufficient period to allow them to complete and submit a renewal.
I have to interrupt the Minister. The rest of the reply will appear in the official report. Deputy Pringle.
Thank you, Laskar. Minister, I placed this question because I have been contacted over the recent months or so, 6 weeks or so, by a large number of elderly people who had their cards cancelled without any prior knowledge by PCRS. And indeed, when contacting PCRS, they acknowledged that the system didn't send out the letters to them and they reinstated the cards. But this has caused huge distress for elderly people who, when they go to renew their prescription or whatever, are told by either their GP or their pharmacy that they haven't got a valid card. And that has really caused them a lot of disturbance. And the system, I think there was some sort of system failure there. I think it needs to be identified within the PCRS to make sure that it doesn't happen again, and the steps need to be put in place to make sure that the system doesn't allow these kind of things to happen again, because elderly people shouldn't have to go through that kind of distress, and they should be notified.
Thank you, Deputy Minister.
I can only agree with the Deputy that this shouldn't occur. And if the Deputy would be willing to relay to me the specific details of those cases where he said that people were not in fact notified in the way that I've described and that I've been advised. And I know, and I'm quite satisfied, Laskar Corla, that there has been enormous improvement in the administration, of the medical card system in the PCRS in recent times. And it may well be that there are some examples where it doesn't work at absolute full throttle, but I'm convinced that it is working very, very well now. But if the Deputy has particular instances, I will certainly address them and ensure them. And can I just finally say, through you, Laskar Corla, to the Deputy, that where somebody is undergoing a review or where they're uncertain about the contact or the nature of the contact, they should engage with the service. That's vital. The person should engage with the service, and I believe that in most, if not all circumstances, that a proper resolution will be arrived.
Thomas Pringle.
Thank you, Minister, and thank you for your response, and I'll arrange to have those sent on to you. And I must say as well that when I did contact, or my office contacted PCRS, the cards were reinstated straight away when it was realised that there was a system failure there, so there wasn't that problem, but it's just the distress that it caused, and I think the system should be robust enough that those kind of things don't happen, or at least minimised. So I will get in touch with you on them.
Thank you.